Thanks for joining us for another installment of our video feature series, Explore the Riverbend. We're going to take you on a trip through the area's great natural attractions, explore our own urban legends, and highlight the small businesses that we visit day to day, and shed some light on the services that we might not otherwise think about. So come with us as we explore the Riverbend.
Back in 1936, my grandpa was working for Mr. Yoder, and he was getting ready to retire and sell the store, and I believe he approached my grandfather and said that he could either take his chances working with somebody else or purchase the building, the business from him. So in 36, I believe Grandpa bought the building. I believe Grandma had her first kid then out of 9 in 36. So it was a good thing they owned a grocery store. Sometime after that, when Dad was 14 or 15 years old, he started working there, and all the brothers and sisters all worked there, the aunts and uncles. Back when we were at Pearl Market, I probably started working bottle shed. Back in the days, you still had returned bottles, and we returned the bottles, and everybody that started there started working in the bottle shed. All the boys did. Growing up, one of the funner things at the Pearl Market, truthfully, when you were a kid, was riding up and down in the conveyor. We had a conveyor belt that moved groceries from the main floor down to the basement, and it was fun just as a kid to sit on it and let Dad send you up and down it. And I believe 1976, my grandfather passed away, and that is when they incorporated the business, and my dad and my uncle and my grandmother then were the owners of the business. Then came 10/9 of 85, we bought the lease for the Schwegels uptown at the old A&P store, and we had a nice run up there for 23 years, I believe. And then after that, we sold off that equipment and the inventory inside. We had been down here, I want to say, for about 8 years. And we had shut down Pearl Market. I'm not sure exactly when we shut down Pearl Market. We've been down here at this Albee location, I want to say, for approximately 14 or 15 years now.
My first memory of the shop is Pearl Market. I was probably just a young kid when my dad worked there and owned that store, and we would walk from my house on Liberty down to Pearl Market. I remember the craziness of the meat department. It was always really exciting. You'd go in there and there'd be people everywhere hooting and hollering, screaming what they needed because it was an open case meat department. So it was always just fun and exciting down there. I started working down at Pearl Market when I was probably 16. So I kind of grew with the stores. I worked at Pearl Market for a couple of years, and then we shut down Pearl Market and moved to this Schwegel's at this location, and then I moved here, worked here with my dad and my brother, a lot of family and friends. So I worked with my dad basically my entire life. My mom also worked for the company. I didn't get to work with her as much because she did a lot of the outside stuff. And it's very unique because generally you don't get to spend that much time with people in your family and people who you care about. And me and my dad and my brother have spent 40 plus hours a week working together, and it's just it's wonderful. It gives the job a small town feel. It's very just you don't get that in the bigger stores. What I really like about working here is once again the small feel of it. It's a store, it's a neighborhood store, and it always has been. We get people who walk from all around the neighborhood and who come in once or twice a day. People by their name. You get to really know people, and I've worked here for 20 years, and a lot of the ladies who have worked here and a lot of the men too have worked here for a long period of time. So you get, over the course of time, we've seen small children grow into adults, and we've seen them have children, and it's a really unique a unique thing about the store.
It's excellent to have a small business that people know where everything's at. People know your name. The customers come in and they ask you how your family's doing, how your kids are doing, and things like that. I like working here because you get to deal with the public. You deal with the neighborhood people that are there. A lot of our customers are neighborhood people that have been coming in the store for the last 20, 30 years. Their parents came in the store before that, so there's a lot of old family history. I like working with the employees. The employees that we have, they don't ever tend to leave until they move on to their permanent job of whatever they finish in college. If they're going for a nursing degree, they might work here through high school, and then you might have them for 3 or 4 years while they're going through college. So we tend to get to know all the employees very, very good. They're just like family to us.
Me and Mike were talking earlier, and we just wanted everyone to know how much we appreciate the business that everyone has provided for us over the last 80 years. And we hope to continue to be here another 80 years, and we can't do it with the support of the community and everyone that shops at Schwegel's.
I've enjoyed working and growing up through the stores. We've had many different locations, and knock on wood, I can see us having a location in Alton for the rest of our life. Hopefully, maybe someday we'll branch out and maybe go to another town.